Greetings, I am Lies and I use she, her.
And I am Scandal and I use they, them.
And let's play a game together!
Yeah!
With a beautiful light.
Unfortunately, I can't promise that he won't come to you.
It might happen.
We've already seen and heard. Never mind. I've got a friend who lives out here in the woods. Into the thick of it, he said he's seen it sliding through the trees. Is it an it or is it he?
Wait, or have we changed the subject? It. He might come to you. Also, I have a friend who's seen it. Okay, so we're discussing he that may or may not be Lucio because we really didn't connect the subjects very well.
No.
And now we're discussing it, which may or may not be the he we were discussing, which may or may not be the Lucio.
This may not be the he you are looking for. It used to just look like a trick of the light. Then it appeared as a shadow. So are we talking about the same thing? But by the sounds of it, it's godlike now, walking on two legs, white, with red eyes.
Okay, I love it's goat-like now. Walking on two legs. You're like, but goats don't walk on two legs, so what makes it goat-like? White, with red eyes. Something that is white with red eyes and walking on two legs.
Is there to separate the ideas. There's, so you know, the sentence end is just like, it's godlike now, comma. Walking with two legs.
Okay, I'm trying to picture Kohai, who as far as
No,
has never seen any non-human like being that is not an animal, right?
Right.
And so it's like you've only seen people and animals your entire life, and it's a goat-like now, walking on two legs. So you picture just a goat, straight out, normal little goat, bleh, standing on its back legs the way dogs do and just walking.
I mean, you can train some goats to do that, so it would make sense also, like, you have basically somebody probably in the town has a goat they've trained.
Right,
will do little tricks and things because they're smart.
But, like, can you just imagine, Lucio, I'm this big, powerful, nasty monster. Picturing this cute little goat just hopping along on two legs.
You're like, walking. I wouldn't call that walking, I would call that
it's
hopping.
It's kind of like a little bounce.
It's bouncing. Hopping?
Yeah.
Stumbling.
Sort of a little, a boy.
With red eyes.
Like the painting in the dining room. I remember that red.
I'm going to lay some protections on you before we bring you back there. But first, I want you to see him.
Before there are protections on. Back to where your friend in the woods is?
What? Or are we talking about going back to the palace?
Back to there. Where's there?
You've brought up two
the cave,
theirs.
the town, the woods, the palace.
Which one are we actually discussing?
Back to somewhere we've been from, but the only place.
And I also don't understand. Let's not have you have protections before you see this thing. You should put them on me before you see it. No, this protection will cause it to go away, not spend time around you. Then you should have different protections?
You may not know those. So the thing is he said, I'm protected so I don't get to see or hear it. And I never have seen or heard it. But I'm going to somehow be able to let you see it.
Question.
Yes.
Why do we need to?
That's what I'm wondering. So
like, out of curiosity.
We know what we're looking for?
Because if there is this, like...
Okay. I'm just very excited about this. Hold on. So, I know the idea of you need to see the danger to be able to avoid the danger. But literally, if it's like, if you see anything that's not a regular person and looks vaguely goat-like, that's it. Like, that's easy enough.
That also talks to you, has glowing red eyes, and is white and walks around upright. I think anybody would be able to kind of figure that out, going like, okay,
like,
so if it acts like a demon goat, demon llama, then I know to run fucking the other direction.
Evil demon llama!
Like that is actually, I'm like, the point of this is baffling to me. Why do we need to do this? Also again, we have said that we've already heard it. We didn't say that we'd seen it.
Strange question.
Even though we should have said that
Asra,
because we did.
I have never seen him. I want you to see him.
Hang on. That also means though that if Asra's with us, we shouldn't be able to see it because Asra wouldn't be able to interact with it. Does he propel things?
Maybe
like repel, not propel.
Maybe it can be around him, but he won't be able to see it. So he can be like, I can vaguely sense what area you should be in, and then I won't be able to experience any of what you're experiencing. I don't know.
That sounds dumb.
I want you to see him.
How is
Why?
that helpful?
I don't know why he wants us to see him.
I'm also fine. Like, so if so you have protections on, but it can't do anything to you. What's to stop it from doing things to things around you? So therefore, are you still protected?
Also,
that seems
if you can't know what I'm seeing or what I'm hearing, Are
How
you
does
going to be
this
able to
as-
help me?
Also, how do you know that it's exactly the thing that I'm supposed to see? Because that could be you grabbed the wrong bucket, basically. But because you can't see the bucket, you have no idea that you've grabbed the wrong bucket.
Reaches into the ether for something uncomfortable. Something from another fandom slurps in. Nowhere king. Excuse me, what?
I do what?
That does not look like a goat.
Question mark?
Asra?
Asra? No, it's probably the goat. Okay.
Okay, maybe it's back now.
Maybe it's fine. Is it fine? I guess it's fine.
I want you to see him.
I want to see him. Once you have, I don't think he'll be able to hide from you again. But we won't be able to see him again. You just...
If maybe he's not putting the same protections on us that he's putting on, that he has on
Why
him.
wouldn't you?
I don't know.
Does he not know how? Is that the thing? But I think Asra go, I'm so annoyed.
Because it could be totally different to have, to put a protection on someone else than to just put it on me. Those are very, very different spells, and I can't do them
I would
the
like
same.
to have either that clarification or our character to know that.
Again. So one,
Again.
is he hiding from us, or is he trying to find us? Which one is it?
We cannot, there's so many questions. I have too many questions, not enough answers.
Asra, I have a couple questions. I need you to see it. Can I ask you? Go,
No.
see it.
Here we go. We do the thing now.
What about the protection
Okay.
of... You are having it now. Okay.
I will just experience again. We just have very incurious characters.
Well, also going, but when I ask him questions, my whole life, he shuts down or backs off and stops doing things.
So you just let yourself basically get steamrolled or railroaded into very specific things because Asra
It's
really.
the only way to possibly get close to him, even at all.
Does that mean that Asra has a really bad self-esteem or potentially
It could mean
incredibly defensive because
he's bad at friendships and relationships because he's actually bad at communicating. Because whenever someone wants the communication street to go two ways, he runs off in the one-way street. Or he just closes the road closed. It's a one-way street. Well, we could open the other lane. Road closed.
That's still really fucking controlling. Okay, so one of the things that you need to realize, not all controlling is malicious or meant to be like that, but shutting down conversation or communication is a way of controlling or manipulating those around you. Going, it's either my way or the highway, basically.
And also, it does not build good, equal relationships. Nope. Okay,
It is not,
again.
they have a
Fight.
fight from you. Again.
Asra rises to his feet, looking over my shoulder. A pale shape is darting down the craggy walk wall nearby. So, he's looking over my shoulder. Is he seeing that, or am I seeing something else? Am I talking about, okay, I see Asra in front of me looking over my shoulder. I also notice in the direction I am looking, which is not over my
grab
shoulder.
a mirror and I hold it up so I can see what Asra.
Do I? Well, the thing is I was getting two things. If one, either I turn and look with him, or two, I see past him, in the direction I am looking, which is towards him, some movement happens behind or to the side of him, and I notice this thing. So I am not seeing what he's seeing at all, or I'm describing something omnisciently, or I turn and look over my shoulder with him.
God, this is baffling.
It's okay. If they didn't describe in such detail where we were in proximity to each other, how close we were or not were, how much we were touching or not touching each other, where we were looking or not looking.
We wouldn't be this picky, but
It wouldn't matter. But
it
they're
keeps
telling
coming
us
up.
it's
Oh,
very
no.
important, so we're trying to keep track of it, and it's really hard to.
Yes. Nearby.
Nearby, moonlight gleams off Faust's undulating form as she reaches us in a great hurry.
Cut. This little. Cut.
She is peeping.
I know. Where is he now?
This is Faust, my gut tracking snake. Sorry.
Hey, snake.
My
I have to say, I don't. That's fine.
she sees beyond the magical protections that I put on myself. But since everyone finds her benign, it's okay.
Right.
I see the goat man when he showers.
He's very dirty.
She gives a wordless answer and dives into Asra's shirt.
He immediately develops a cute little pooch belly.
He suddenly has a baby carrier that is for snake.
Poink! Because he has part of his clothes tucked in. So this. Boop.
It's a-
I've actually seen people with. Okay, so having the hoodies that have either the little pocket in the front or they just have it really tight down at the bottom. I used to do this.
And just put an animal in it.
And everybody's like, are you okay, man? You must have eaten a lot. Or, are you pregnant?
Oh, you look
That was
weird.
You look strange. You're like, yeah, it's just, boop. And they're like,
Also, it's the sort of, they've made the pet hoodies now that actually have like the cat pocket, dog pocket, whatever. So then you just have it there, and it's just this chunky round pocket right over your belly, and then you open it up and a big snake head looks at you, and you're like, woo! Long puppy.
Pippy long puppy.
That is a scaly kitten you have there.
Wow! I mean, they kind of are.
I've never seen her so frantic.
The field? I thought so.
Why would you think that, sir?
So I've never seen him. I have not. I'm fine. I can't do this. Quiet. Let's climb up this rock. For reasons we'll be able to see from there. A spirit. Then I won't be able to actually fucking see.
I won't be able to see.
But you can tell me. Quiet. Are there any other spirits?
But Faust knows and detects and tracks only this one spirit.
And Faust is inside my clothing, potentially a part of my protection. I can't do this. This is gonna kill me. This actually got really bad.
I hope that Faust is within his protected circle so she cannot be frantic anymore. He waves his fingers together, offering me a foothold so I can scrabble up on top of the jagged rock. Because when he says climb, he means I'll give you a boost and you can be awkward like a fish going upstream.
Okay, I would have liked to know this.
I will climb, and by that I mean you will gently treat me like a snail sliding up a rock as you shove.
La 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 la. Elevator, Asra.
Once I pull myself up, I blink against the wind and peer out over the treetops.
God, that's really tall. Especially since they keep describing this deep dark forest as being enormously tall, like
okay,
huge.
Question. Faust is bathed in moonlight.
Okay.
The forest is dark, even though we have streams of light coming through it in the illustration. Ignore the illustration.
Ignore that!
It's wrong, because I take the words over the illustration all day long.
Right.
So
I mean, we have to, otherwise we go insane.
So, what you've got is you've got a clearing that is lit by a campfire in the dark of the night, but maybe with a full moon, so it's still kind of like there's an ability to see, but it's not easy to see, and certainly not at distances. I used to walk at night all the freaking time in the deep country where I grew up, okay? Like very rural land where there was very little light pollution, like not none, but very little. And the thing is you can't see details at a distance at all. Sure, you can see well enough to, in my case, because I have very good night vision, to like skate and not die. But, like, you don't see far ahead. Oh. And when there are no lights at all, except for the moon, you get an idea of the landscape. And sure, you could totally see that is totally a person that is a dark silhouette in the light, even if they're wearing pale colors. But unless my eyes are differently than the average, you don't see details. In the dark. In the dark of the night, seeing the things.
Evil will find her.
In the dark of the night, you'll see nothing.
You'll see the goat.
I want to know.
There is a man. He's got horns in his hands.
In the dark of the night, let you. Sorry. I want to know how much moonlight there is. Is the moon a huge round moon? Do we know? The first thing I see, the palace, leaking pungent red aura, which hangs like a wraith over the elegant spires. Also,
is that a magical aura?
I am confirming again that the castle is on the highest point of the entire city. They've never said it, but we can see it from absolutely everywhere, and so it is the highest thing in the city.
And we have talked about, actually, specifically, we had to walk down from the castle, and we walk up towards the castle.
Yep. I say, for reasons, I don't know why they've never said that it is, but it has been, nonetheless, softly and consistently described as the highest point in the entire city.
Which is fine. You could also use that basically just as a sort of thematic experience.
I mean,
the palace seems all-consuming, ever-present, very much raised up because it's a noble, powerful, maybe even a force on its own, but
they're literally just seeing it from places, and they don't have to describe that it's at the top of the hill in the center of the city. But
or at least your main character always describes it that way. Who knows?
But it really does seem like it's at the top of the hill in the center of the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. Anyway, over it's the elegant spires. The miasma drips down through the fields, down the hills, it doesn't go through the city? It jumps over the city that is surrounding the
So
castle?
what I'm hearing, so remember how that there's a section like over here? So here's, you guys can't see this, but I'm gesturing for,
Okay.
so here's the castle, right? I know
So,
there's an
hang
official map for this damn thing, but I'm talking about what they've described in the game.
So
remember
in
we did
Julian's
Julian's route,
route,
they talked
You
about,
walk up to the mountains.
ooh, sorry,
It's okay, you're fine. It's fine.
I'm like, okay, so we walked off to the side, though, remember? And then we had to go down the hills, and we ran across the water that was...
And we went up into the mountains, and then followed the aqueducts down from there.
Yeah, it was weird.
Walking from NADIA'S palace, you can go up into the mountains where there's still infrastructure and aqueducts.
Yeah.
And so that...
Yeah.
All right. But I think it's only going in directions that don't touch the rest of the city, it sounds like.
Yeah.
But I had thought the city was mostly around the palace. Maybe it's mostly in front, like a crescent city, and it's at the highest point.
Who knows?
Behind it, there's nothing but forest. That's the start of her garden. You actually have to walk around the palace to go to the garden.
I wish it would be more clear, but that's me. Especially, like, in the realm of, like, so, the thing that I think is interesting is the lack, basically, of, like, character awareness of where they are, particularly with a city that is so much a part of their own life and structure.
And
so
the
usually
creators has been mapped out so well.
Uh-huh.
So one thing that I'm familiar with from having read a lot of fantasy as a child, is that there's so many of your big fantasy epics that have a big fucking map in the front. And the thing is that way when they say, we're in the down streets, we're upside of town, we're in the south corridor, you just go back to the map and you look at it. But they use those kinds of names. Here you've pretty much got the palace, the market, the garden, and the woods.
See, and I would have liked, honestly,
And the
if
shop.
they actually had a map in this game, kind of thing,
neat.
so you could actually pull it up once in a while. So, like, just kind of had an extra button where it's just you pull the menu down, and then there's a little map button, you tap, you know, where are you?
I've seen games like that, and it's really fun.
It's actually really charming.
Down the hills. And into the city. Hang on, you have fields and hills all the way around the palace before you get to the city. So you have giant palace with its big bridge, with its huge gardens, with its entire moat and kind of experience. And then you have your
fields?
massive, I assume, farming fields, because
Maybe
what else
this
would
is
they
why
be for?
Nadia fucking hates this palace. Not only does Lucio, for her, have bad taste, but she's like, you fucking have no idea what a castle is even about.
This also would explain why it takes 3 to 5 hours to walk to the castle, because you have to walk through 7 miles of farmland. So you have city, all of your farmland, and then the castle.
What if that's actually part of the reason why this place has also suffered so fucking hard, is because your castle is so far removed from the usual trade expected epicenter.
And from all the people.
And from all the people, and everybody's like, we're so disconnected from what's going on. So the thing of what the Empress was talking about, of going like, this is a fucking laughing stock, what's happened to this place? Like, it's so embarrassing. I'm like, is that really what's happened? Like, if you wanna, like, let's put that forward as, like, maybe, let's postulate this as a theory as to why everything has actually gone poorly, is because, let's not just say it was bad writing. Let's just say, like, in the world, Lucio is that dumb about tactics and awareness and whatever else.
And about building his city, because as far as we
and
can tell,
whatever
it was
deals
his.
he made, that doesn't mean that anybody's intelligent about it, because as far as we can tell, okay, so spoilers vaguely from the other routes, but if you're already this far, holy shit.
You've been spoiled some things.
You've been spoiled a lot of things. So the demons, if he made deals with them and got things from them, it sounds like they have no concept of structures, human expectations, or, like,
so what I'm
process. And so they go, yeah, okay, we'll just give you a place of power.
So the vague things that I know about Lucio, and they're pretty limited.
I mean,
I've learned very little about him in the roots, but I've run into some things online accidentally. And the basic idea, and occasionally people talking about him, and the basic thing that I understand is that he's very interested in power, and he wants to be in charge of things, right? And so I'm very much like, what if he's wasn't actually like a noble or a royal or anything like that? Even though he has this whole castle and this whole land that Nadia married into, right? And instead, he's just playing at being it. So it's like a little kid playing house. You just make it up as you go. And you don't actually, you know the things that are supposed to be there. There's a mom and there's a dad and they go shopping and they cook and they vacuum. But you have no idea what that looks like in function.
Yeah, it actually reminds me of, in a lot of the stories, like, I've watched for the kids, or remember when I was little, there'd be a lot of things you'd be like, well, you know, and you have couples, and then inevitably you have kids. Like, not everybody knows exactly how you have kids, but you just have kids.
Because that's what happens. Because you're a kid and you're in your household, so all the other households are like that.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm wondering actually if that's basically like part of the story is...
It's also going to be difficult for Nadia going,
why would Nadia look at him and go, I can fix it.
I will help you with your like plans, desires for this kingdom. Because she did talk about really wanting to help him with his vision in her route. Mm-hmm. And going, this looks different, but I trust you because I have to trust you because of your big vision and stuff.
Also, if potentially he made deals with the demons and he got basically a lot of power, so he basically somehow whirlwinded in and blew everybody away with how much he had, but also at the same time, how much he lacked. Mm-hmm. And Nadia went, oh my god, you have all these apparent wild dreams, expectations, and maybe the power to be able to do it. But then actually getting involved with it was, oh my god, you literally have no idea what you're doing. You don't even really care because you want to play being in charge.
Uh-huh.
Which makes me just sadder for Nadia's route, because I'm also just like, but Nadia also seems like she was just playing at being in charge, because the constant, I need to go nap, I'm done after 5 minutes.
I mean, like, she is stressed, overwhelmed, and depressed, and she's never been given any freedom to develop her leadership skills.
But what I'm saying is that, like, that seemed to be the big thing they were all banking on, and we did very, very little of that. Like, actual, like, in character.
Anyway, so, it runs down the mountain, like, the hills and the fields before it ever gets to the city, and that is a really interesting thing for me.
So we have a gladiator experience of walking, walking with the hands
through the fields,
yes.
For the great long time before you ever get to Nadia's place.
Yeah.
Yep. And the farmers have to go down to the city to trade their wares. Because anyone who need like instead of being out, and when you come to the city, you're like, I am in the wasteland. Pap! It's a city. No lead up at all, because all of that's inside behind the city. Interesting. Between the leaves.
You see him?
No, I see red. But not in an angry way. Just red. Him. Right. I'm not looking at the entire Vesuvian landscape from this slightly higher than the trees rock. I guess.
Where the castle is apparently the highest point even above that. That's pretty fucking impressive,
I'm thinking
man.
what we are is we have gone...
You also. Isn't that the ocean? There should be an ocean included.
So what we have done is we have gone down from the city and out from the city and into a cave, and the cave has taken us out around into a distant forest, and then we climb up on a rock that is taller than the trees. Let's say it's a taller climb than he was making it out to be. He actually shoved me up there and pushed and helped me for like 10 minutes as he was climbing behind me. And then I'm standing on the top of this thing, and I don't notice the ocean at all because it's sort of off to the side-ish, even though it should be beautiful in the moonlight. And I don't notice the canals at all because that's not something I care about right now. Even though they're very important to the story. I think, but what I see, because the whole thing is on a hill, and I am down at the base of it, is the castle, and then like a layer cake. Then I see the hills and the fields, and then I see the whole of the city, and then I look for him somewhere between the city and the palace, because I decide the fields is where he's going to be.
I'd also be like, holy shit, Asra, that's a lot of ground to cover. How the fuck am I supposed to distinguish, potentially, with moonlight, the difference between a ghost and that? There's also, potentially fog, also, because you gotta think about the area that you're in.
Even ignoring all of that, imagine it's bright, clear day, okay? This is miles of territory we're looking over.
Yeah, this is
like, Vesuvius fucking huge, and we see all of it from this little vantage point in the woods.
Whatever.
And then we're supposed to look again past the entirety of the city, which has never been described to be small ever, and has up streets, down streets, alleys, and corners, and a whole like network. And it has a rich district and a poor district, and it has like massive canal systems. Like, it's not a small place. So you have to look past the entirety of that city. And past the forest that you're in, because you're in like the middle of the forest or deep into it. Mm-hmm. So you're looking past a mile of forest, 2 miles of city, and then into the hills over there. You cannot see much. The castle is 2 inches high with this red miasma on it. Just saying. Alright, unsure of what I'm going to see. There, a crimson trail curls through the hillside. Cuts. Leading into the grass, which my eyes are amazingly good at seeing, past the forest and
the moonlit glow,
and past the entirety of the city. Dragging the red aura through the grass is a pale creature on 2 legs.
I love that.
Nothing else is moving anywhere, and this entire city does not keep cattle of any kind. All
There's
the
also no
fields,
guards.
all the fields are only crops.
Yep.
There are no buildings in the fields. Maybe everyone's angry because they have to go and travel to their fields every day because they're not allowed to build houses in there because it's not aesthetic.
God, I'd be so tired of this king.
You're like, I am a farmer, but I live in a cute little house in the city and I have to march 2 miles at 3 o'clock in the morning to go take care of my field.
I mean, if we're really going to say that he's just basically that bad at everything, how the fuck did he... Like, again, I'm like, why did the Empress not interfere? Did it suddenly, like, cause some sort of... They were like, oh, we're curious. Let's see what he does. Oh my God, we're being laughed out of house and home. We're being laughed at in our... back in our home capital of Chakra, inside our palace. Everyone is laughing at us. We know this.
But we better just
decided
not
to
do anything.
I'm still laughing that they ignored it.
We just not do anything for many years.
And also our favorite baby daughter is there.
So you know what?
She hasn't written to us. We haven't got a hold of her. We knew weird shit was going on.
Hold on.
It's fine.
I've got it. Based on NADIA'S route, I've got it. I figured it out. Okay, guys, this is totally worth it, all right? So, they go, we know everything sucks over there. It's terribly horrible. It's so bad. It's the laughingstock of our entire empire. But we know that our baby girl wants her freedom and her independence, and she doesn't want us smothering her, so we're going to leave her to figure it out because we believe in her and we respect her boundaries until we don't. Well, until she sends us letters, which aren't from her.
Right.
But it's fine.
Because the stability of a nation and your country, let alone apparently a very powerful place like Vesuvia,
doesn't matter. Imagine, but you know the disconnection.
No. I know.
It actually works with how distant all the royals are. Of going, we'll just let her play with that whole entire piece of the empire, and she'll get it. I believe in her. We won't send help. We won't send support because we're letting her do it on her own because she hates it when we smother her.
I'm like, and your people rioting. A plague doesn't cause you guys to show up. Nothing.
Nope.
You guys are the worst. Just so you know. Like,
we believe in boundaries 100%. I see.
Years worth of boundaries. Holy shit.
And as parents, we do not feel that we should ever intervene or help or teach this child that we have.
Or actually use our authority because we are responsible for... It's fine.
Go. It's my kingdom, actually. Dragging the aura. Thin and translucent. Not human. And even though he's miles away, I can see him staring at me.
I guess.
Is that Lucio? It's really hard to tell. He's about maybe like 1/8 of an inch tall, but I do see the whole trail of the red miasma, and I can tell from his gait.
Hang on! Let me use my Arcana vision, and I'm going to zoom in.
Hang on. Asra taught me a spell. I don't know why, but it's called goggle. It's called binoculars, and it just lets you see things far away. I've heard there's tools that can do it too, but I don't know anything about them.
Yeah, because I'm not a maritime sailor.
I've never been to the sea. I don't know what a spyglass is.
I don't know what ocean is.
The spell is called spyglass, but I don't know why.
Who knows? It's a mystery.
Is it Lucio? I love how the center of the stained glass window is like right where his heart would be.
That's actually
fun.
Very charming.
This
is you. You get to talk to yourself. I'm so excited.
Oh my god.
He somehow talks to you. Maybe it's one of those I'm in contact.
This is totally magic. This is magic across the distances, across the fields. I would have loved if it would have said, and I can feel him across the great distance, and then move to this.
Yeah.
That would have been so much for me. Yes. I'm good voice. You know me. Poof! And as if you didn't know us before. Sir, are you saying you literally didn't know who we were before? Oh, not now I know. Just, and I know you. Guy. Fear pulses through me as my name echoes in my head. The more it rings, the louder it seems to grow, like that damn bell again.
I know that feeling.
It's okay. Then I feel fingers clasping around my hand, and it stops. Asra is beside me, staring out into the field. His expression is unlike any I've ever seen.
Though I'm pretty sure I saw it maybe about 3 episodes ago or something. But that's okay. I've never seen this one before.
I've never unlike anything I've ever seen, except for the limitations of his sprite. What?
Wait, what? That's metagaming me. That's unfair.
Oh, sorry. His eyes are deep with hatred, even though he couldn't see any of that.
Why didn't you just say dark with hatred?
Deep, because his deep he sucks me in. I just get lost in his eyes.
Okay, then you get sucked into his eyeballs when he's angry?
Even though he's angry, he's still just fathomlessly deep and appealing.
Okay, so yeah, the only thing I have to respond to that again is actually again an article that we've mentioned before that I read years ago, where they talk about basically abusive men or manipulative men, where they just go, God, well, just when my wife gets so angry, she just looks so pretty, or when my wife does, because there's some level of going, your anger is not valid. Your anger, your distress, your sadness, whatever it is. So it's actually a part of where they talk about basically toxic men and not realizing either how abusive they are or how controlling they are or how manipulative or whatever, just the scale, where they just look and they go, God, my wife, she just looks so funny sometimes when she just gets so angry.
Or she's just so cute when
she's
mad.
So beautiful when she has this rage. And it's like, that is sort of that is objectifying a person who
Her
has
emotional experiences are aesthetic for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And when he speaks, his voice is low and cold.
Go away.
How did you know he was here?
We'll have to find out in the next one! So, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also please share our videos. Please also, really interact with the video if you can. It actually does a lot for us. Even just hitting the like button does a lot for us in regards to the YouTube algorithm. Please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi, Patreon, and our Twitch. Mm-hmm. Or our Twitch, I guess.
And
Up
to and including, but not limited to.
And there's some links in the description down below that have those links. And, I have been Scandal.
And if you buy one of these, you get the other 3 free.
Hey!
And if you buy one of these for free, and I have been Lies. And it was great playing with you. Bye!